As the Auckland mayoral campaign heats up, there have been calls for a civic leader who will talk tough with Wellington about the city's needs. The restoration of St James would be a cost-effective way to curry favour, Maria Slade writes in this week's Flipside column. Maria, thanks for taking the time.
Yes.
So, we've seen a bit of a rekindling of this effort to restore St James. What exactly happened over the weekend? Was it Chloe Swarbrick posted
it's Auckland Central MP Chloe Swarbrick that's raised this again. She's long been campaigning for the restoration of the St James, and she pulled off a pretty canny PR move over the weekend by doing a video walkthrough of the theatre where there's been a recent break-in and vandalism, and it's done quite a bit of damage that is now letting in the elements and the pigeons, and it's not good. And there were sort of emotive pictures of fungus growing on the carpet and so forth. So the poor old thing is not in a great state. And the council has committed $15 million towards the restoration, and there is a commercial component too. They're looking at apartments and so forth. Mm-hmm. But what's needed is another $15 million from central government that it resolutely refuses to cough up. And so we're left in this stalemate with this sort of derelict building right in the heart of the entertainment district.
And you're arguing it's not just about the derelict building itself, but the derelict Auckland CBD at the moment?
That's the thing. It's right in the middle. So you've got the Aotea Square directly opposite. The new Aotea station on the City Rail link will be just up the road, and that will link into the new International Convention Centre just around the corner. So it's sort of in pole position right in that midtown part of Auckland, and it's just a bit of a disgrace. It's all right in Rome to kind of come out of the tube and see ruins, but it's not really what we're going for in Auckland. So it's just really sad that this heritage building has been left to get into this state, and it just seems a bit of a blind spot by the government.
So whenever I go back to visit family in Hawke's Bay, everyone always talks about how good Auckland has it and how much funding we get from central government. But you reckon there should be more here as well? What's the case that you're putting forward?
Well, I think the thing is, Auckland is 38% of New Zealand's GDP, so it punches above its weight. Even our population is about a third. So we're an economic powerhouse. And as we say, this isn't just about sort of, doing up an old heritage building. It's about the visitors coming back into the city. We had our first cruise ship in the other day. And the centre of the city is looking pretty dismal, that end of Queen Street particularly. And, the city has really suffered from the huge lockdowns, or the series of lockdowns, but the big one of last year, the 4-month lockdown, it's left some pretty deep scars, and we haven't recovered yet. And mayoral candidate Viv Beck makes the point that in Melbourne and Sydney, they got a bit more help from their central government than Auckland seems to have ever done here. And, as we say, it's a case of talking tough to Wellington. We probably do need a mayor that's going to hold a hard line and say, listen, guys, you kind of owe us one. You sort of threw us under a bus in your handling of the Delta outbreak, and, now you want all these tourists back in, and Auckland's where they all land. How's about a little bit of help? And $15 million in the grand scheme of things is not that much.
Have there been any further noises from the government? I
made a request to Kiri Allen, the Heritage Minister's office, to ask where they stand, and the news isn't good, I'm afraid. They've said there's a $1.5 million kitty there that's already been allocated for earthquake strengthening for the building. But as to any further moolah, you can forget it, because they say there's a very tiny heritage fund, and other than that, there would have to be budgetary implications to raise more money, i.e. they do not want to cough up anymore. But again, I feel that's short-sighted. This isn't just a heritage issue. This is a tourism issue. It's an infrastructure issue. It's a COVID recovery issue.
It's a recovery issue, isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
And you'd like to see a bit more action from them.
Maria, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.